verified. Enable semi-automatic control. Disable safety features. Maximum speed. Go.
What's happening to him?
I think he's switching genres.
We need distance. Head south.
Is that a standard issue?
No. It's not. Point and shoot. Police ahead. Maintain speed. Maintaining speed. Sharp left. Now.
I missed!
Hold on. All right, I need you to drop in, intersect, maximum speed. Arm charges now. Accelerate.
Acceleration at 90%.
More.
94%.
More.
98%.
Stop.
Why the f are we stopping?
Get down.
Hey, thanks very much for watching that. That was my entry to the Westworld Spitfire audio competition, which will be judged allegedly by Ramin himself, the composer of Westworld. I'm a huge fan of Ramin and his work on Game of Thrones as well as Westworld, so it's a pretty big deal. You know, it'd be cool to tag onto the end of my audition a little video for those who wanted to know a bit more about what goes into scoring a scene like this. And you know, a lot of people don't even know you can have a video playing in your door at the same time and compose to that. So it's very cool. It's really powerful to be able to do that. And I'll just very briefly take you through some of the things I did on this. So I'll just kick it off. It's probably going to lag. It's probably going to glitch. Just deal with it. It's all good. So I introduced it with a little piano note there, which was drenched in reverb, as you can tell. And then I really wanted to shock the audience. When the gunfire comes in, I'm hitting some timpani there. Underpinning this entire thing, the spine of this entire piece, is this synth from Omnisphere 2, which I think is awesome. And it really sets the tone for this. And also with Westworld, if you're not familiar, there's a real juxtaposition between digital realm and the organic. So I wanted to really incorporate some digital kind of vibes, and then the more organic timpani and stuff like that. I had a decision to make here early on. We've got this moment where this guy's freaking out. I mean, big time.
Disable safety features. Maximum speed. Go.
And it kicks in. I think their wheel's getting shot at. So you've got two decisions. You either slowly introduce a swell of something into that moment, or you just bam, impact. And I went back and I added in the swell. I like to introduce this sort of melody or this ostinato quite early on. The very Stranger Things kind of vibe there. And there's a couple of hit points here actually probably worth talking about. I've got a piano note here
Verified.
for
Enable semi-automatic.
pretty much just that guy looking at her in dismay. Also, he's having a bad day too.
Verified. Enable semi-automatic control. Disable
And
safety
there's
features.
another note there
Maximum.
for a character here. You probably know him from Breaking Bad,
Enable
There's a
semi-automatic
low note
control.
now.
Disable safety features.
where he's
Maximum
just like,
speed.
"What? I'm
Go.
sorry, what's going on? We're getting shot at here."
Maximum speed.
You get
Go.
a note on the piano for that. I'm telling you now. Kick in now.
Maximum speed.
Oh,
Go.
I've got a dulcimer swell from Omnisphere as well. This is beautiful. Sort of as he turns his head. Anyway, we kick in.
Disable safety features. Maximum speed. Go.
And you'll notice some of the cuts. Obviously, what your aim as a composer is to try and add to the visuals with music. Doing it to the cut is it's where it's at. So you can see this tempo track here. You see all these points where I've changed the tempo of the track to sort of suit the cuts. They may well have edited to the music, which would be obviously a lot easier if you can just write a piece of music and have the film edited to it. But in this case, we're doing it the other way around, which can be a little bit tricky, but it's very rewarding if you get those cuts every time on the beat. But it's not always necessary. I find that if you're trying to do that too much, you can really lose the potential of the music as well. Still a cut there. Do another one here, I think. Yep. So that to me felt like the right tempo to go for. This is just how I interpreted it. Everyone will have done something different. And I hope for the judge's sake that they did do something different, because I would not want to judge thousands of these. We've got another tempo change here. We go back into the inside of the car. He's having a bad day. He's tripping out. I don't know what he's been smoking.
I think he's switching genres.
So I just wrote a lovely little piano motif to help him through. I felt sorry for him, if anything. Just kind of ethereal, floating through this euphoria / terror of the impending doom.
What's happening to him?
I think he's switching genres.
Of course, that's one of the biggest cues in the whole thing. So I've gone to Omnisphere for a couple of risers, such as this. I love that, and I've got this one here. Kind of anxious breathing sound effect. And then I introduce that melody again before it kicks in. And I've also brought back the dulcimer. So all together again. Actually, there's one thing I've missed, one of my favourite bits on this, which is something I used on my solo album a lot. The sort of scratching effect on the violin, very cool. Add all that together. Not sure if I put anything for that skid. I did. So I've got another couple of risers here from Omnisphere. You just watch as the car skids. It's just subtle. It could be a sound effect. You don't want to blur the lines too much between sound effects and music, but I feel like it's warranted here. It's cool. And that's a huge cut. So we've gone basically to a massive aerial shot, and I really wanted that to be, I've got my tempo change there, and I wanted some kind of a floaty, this is my time to express myself as a composer a little bit, which, you know, is a bit naughty, but I want to do it, and I thought I'd put in a really nice floaty violin section, like an emotional. And then drop straight back in. And I've reintroduced the inside of the car with another piano note there. And that almost becomes his theme in a way, you know, those drenched in reverb piano hits become that character's theme, what he's going through, and you kind of tie it back in every time. Nice. Picking up the big guns. She's done it all before. It's not her first rodeo, obviously.
Issue.
He looks terrible. He's having a bad day.
It's not.
Again, big cue there, big hit point, which would be. I did think that a panel of perspex hitting the front of a car isn't as explosive, perhaps as some of the other cuts, but I just felt it was necessary to emphasize that one. I think it's really important to cut out the dynamics need to be big when they're big, but they need to come down, otherwise you never feel that impact again. So you might see up here I've got two lots of running action strikes, and I've got one big tasty everything's kicking off section, and then I've got a kind of a little bit calmer timpani section here, which just switching between the two just creates so much more dynamics and tension. Pretty stripped back here. Gunfire brings out this kind of cool string section. Just make it a bit more frantic.
Maintain speed. Sharp left. Now.
As it turns, we get the strings again. We've jumped to action strikes big, and we've got this kind of cool descending. Very cool there. I like that, just as he's skidding around the corner, just that. Yeah. And then we're really calming down here.
Hold on.
And I had a decision to make there too. He's saying he's missed. Should we then hit some kind of chord to echo his disappointment or his almost like his embarrassment? And I guess you could play on that. But I decided to play on her a bit more And the fact that she is completely in control during this scene. She's just chilling on the back seat. And I kind of just wanted to let those electro percussions carry on a little over that bit.
Hold on.
She's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Don't sweat, buddy. And then, of course, that drop out there is exactly what I'm talking about, with just dropping everything silent. You can probably get away with a couple of those in a scene. So I'm literally stripping all the sound off, apart from the sound effect of the thing itself.
Hold on.
That to me is like the top of the roller coaster just before you're going to go down. Bass thing comes back in, the synth. Again, silence, just to let him have his moment to look at it. I've got this riser called Fushy riser, which I've got automated here to do some sort of scoop here, and that goes along with the rocket. And again, there's a little bit of a fine line between sound effects there and the music, but I don't really care. And then you got the car emerging from the flames. I've got a couple more risers for that. I think it's very cool. Again, massive point there, but the tempo I've pretty much got all the way since bar 54. We're on the same tempo. I think I've really hit a good tempo there that works across the board. Okay, cool. So we're getting to the bike now, and I wanted to treat the bike like it was a character in itself almost.
Arm charges now.
So the bike kind of gets its own theme here. Come up with a little riff. Which is just awesome. That could be a metal riff, to be honest.
90%. Or 94%. Or 98%.
Stop.
It's a little bit on the nose, but I kind of wanted to go for the stop, music cuts out thing. It's a little bit obvious, but I like it.
Stop.
Why the f are we stopping?
Get down.
Something's about to go down, so we've got the ominous piano note here.
Get down.
We're going to come in with some percussion. Shit's about to go down, they're getting ready. What's this? There's a car coming, so we're kind of upping the ante here, and then the savior, this character, the bike, just comes out of nowhere, and we bring back in, for me, what's really representing the bike is this. Coming in to save the day, and I've stuck a couple of risers on this one as well. I've got this guy. Which is just awesome. You couple that one. Let's put it all together and just watch that second. And that's it. And obviously we cut to silence again there. You don't have to, but bang. That impact doesn't happen exactly on the bar, but it doesn't really matter. In fact, it's even more abrupt that it doesn't, probably. That's about it for this. It was pretty simple. I mean, there's not that much going on if you look around. It's not that complicated. There's not that many tempo changes. There's not that much automation. There is a little bit. It didn't, it took longer than an hour to put something like this together, but it's very rewarding when you get a piece to fit as nicely as this, and that's just my interpretation musically on this given day. So hopefully that helps if you're looking to become a film composer or get into scoring scenes, making music for the picture. It's very easy these days. You can chuck a video in the door and it's just so powerful. Hope you got some information from it that you didn't have before. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.